I don't think we've seen them dictate the map after a win.
I don't think so either. Not yet.
I don't know if it's as impactful going into this, but I think that bring out some hammer again. I thought they looked pretty good. It looked pretty good in their hands. So
Yeah,
try to find
the
a
hammer
map for that.
control was wonderful. The multiple globals really worked out for them too. Bigger maps, I think, actually worked into the benefit of synergy because it opens up more opportunities for them to play that aggressive nature that they do so well in their early and mid game. Also, Vikings. We have yet to see the Vikings from them. Every series in the last 3 weeks, we've at least had a Vikings play from them. So them picking the battleground gives them the chance to actually run that strategy.
Well, to be fair, what have we done? We've eliminated Dragonshire, we've eliminated Braxis, and we've eliminated Tomb. 3 of the smallest maps. Now, we are bound to end up on a big map, and therefore, Vikings?
Where are we going? Let's find out here, as our battleground will be chosen by our team. So, the bans already have been shown. The picks have been done here as well. What is our 4th battleground? Towers of Doom, which can be Viking heaven for our team. So, with that being said, we're going to Towers of Doom here. Been seeing a lot of Dahak on this battleground. Not much in this series, but suddenly he pops back up once again.
Who picked the map, sorry? Do you recall?
I think it was actually Flying Ducks. I missed it.
Was Flying Ducks?
I'm not gonna lie. We'll get our production team to let us know because they are on top of it.
Because that's actually very important, and I wasn't quite paying full attention, because if it is Playing Ducks that picked the battleground, that would mean that they are second ban, and they would be forced into a spot where they would have to ban Tassadar. Vikings could be... No, I don't know if it'll be first ban potential, because people will then just like... I don't think that they pick it in first rotation, so maybe it will be second ban. So I think it's okay, actually.
All right, I'm getting word from Josh, the legend himself. It was the Playing Ducks that picked Towers of Doom. Okay. So we're going to Towers of Doom here. First pick still being available. That does mean we could see Vikings early. This was something we saw a lot last year here in Europe. With it being synergy, I think there is some weight here where banning out the Vikings can be a choice. It's enough pressure to it warrants synergy to maybe get a spot where they can start winning games. So getting rid of it makes sense in my eyes. I
think that if we're going to see it, for me personally, it has to come towards the end of the draft.
Sure.
If you're going to kind of pull that out. But the thing is that you can quite easily, in the shoes of Playing Ducks, kind of prepare for it without those components being only geared towards Vikings. You can get your Falstads, you can get your Dahakas, you can even get your Zeratools if you really need to actually shut something down if Synergy tries to control everything else.
All right, let's see how this shakes out here as we are now into the draft. Synergy will be getting the first ban of the game. Falstad, Dahaka stand out to me as bans you want to get rid of, just in general, and it doesn't really telegraph any Viking strategy from our teams.
I think you ban Dahaka, you force your opponents to get ban Tassadar, and then you pick up Falstad. Because if you do want to go down the Vikings path, Falstad is a great disengage for the 4-man.
Yeah, you were calling for that often here in Synergy.
Yeah.
In week 3, they made that adjustment where Falstad became one of their main pickups at the very start of the draft to make sure they had that disengage, so their 4-man rotation became strong.
Now, it comes to the point where if that is the current thought of process for Synergy, I kind of don't mind them just banning Falstad here, Playing Ducks. And I think that's what they may be thinking about instead of the Tassadar, because of everything I've just said, because of those reasons.
Was Synergy the team that experts bullied into that weird draft where they took the Tassadar first pick and then had nothing to build into for the 4th and 5th slot? I think it was Synergy.
Okay.
Tassadar banned out. Synergy, what do you elect to choose here?
This better be Falstad.
I'm on the Falstad train too here.
I mean, it could be other things. Let's not take that away from them. I'm not.
Ragnaros has incredible value if you want to run a stand-up composition on this battleground. There is the Falstad. So now over to the Playing Ducks. I think you go Varian over ETC. Varian will give you the engage you want against a 4-man rotation, prevent them from actually being able to run away from your composition, so let the Vikings do Viking things.
I would like... Oh, the problem is that there's not actually been much Zeratul from Playing Ducks in HGC Europe so far. So, as much as I would like a Zeratul in this rotation so it doesn't get banned down...
I think it's Malfurion in a tank. Whether it's ETC or it's Varian, you get your engage. You want to be set up for your top lane and being able to control. No Dahaka being up takes that away. You can see in Varian are my next 2 steps.
I suppose ETC with stage dive would be nice. Like, I know I'm harping on a lot about the globals, but against something like potential Vikings down the line, it's really quite important. And obviously you can see synergy in their bans and picks to start off. They've really kind of focused on that. So we have the foundation. These two are officially the foundation. that is their name.
What is their player name together? Oh, who cares about HGC and Malfurion? We have some Artanese up in here, and there's Ragnaros as well. Artanis, one of Hydra's main heroes. So that, I think that we actually don't get
No,
Vikings
we don't
now,
now.
because we get Hydra Artanis, which I am okay with.
Unless they pulled a weird switch where, say, for example, Sir Ice Cream would be on the... wait, no, there's no way. Yeah, you're correct.
I mean, we could always go supportless and go Vikings Artanis.
I think I'd, at that point, just put my headset down and walk away. You can solo cast.
I'd be ready for it, man. All right, so there's our top three here. The Playing Ducks now will get their ban. Artanis, Falstad, Ragnaros. I think you ban out Rhaegar here. Rhaegar with Artanis is actually incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
You can see nice damage there from the Lightning Shield. And, of course, you keep them alive long enough for them to proc those shields multiple times. So the Rhaegar ban is great for me. However, Tyrael is being highlighted here from the Playing Ducks.
Tyrael's good too. I think that, you know, Artanis, technically speaking, as much as, you know, you see a lot of these Artanis players like wanting swaps and stuff, when Artanis goes deep, he wants to go deep. So having a Tyrael with him would be very important. Important, where are the bow ties? I think that's just more aimed at you than me.
No, we're going to get you a bow tie before you leave.
No, I don't think so.
Bow tie bros is still something I need to have.
Again, I have fat neck.
Legitimate answer. Bow ties are used for sporadic occasions. You know, you can't take away the power of the bow tie too much, but we'll talk about it in the future.
Fancy dinners.
Fancy dinners, great matches in HGC, or to send off Caleris when he leaves me.
Or hosting something when you're red-eye.
Yeah, there's all that stuff. Jaina is going to be banned out here for synergy, taking her away, which indicates to me that we want to have maybe another multiple warrior.
Yeah, I like the Jaina ban. As much as it's like just taking away one of the components of Jaina Zeratul, which I didn't think there was going to be Zeratul anyway, because they don't really play as much compared to other teams. But still, kind of taking away that potential is not bad. And we have seen Jaina, at least from them, in a small component with Chris playing it. Medivh and Valor. Okay. So making the playmaker Sport Billy along with Chris really try to shine here. And obviously having those shields for Valor is very important.
Synergy now has their variant. The fifth selection here is going to be Karazim. I mentioned it in game number 1. This is a hero that Synergy likes to pull out. Makes sense. With double warriors or even triple melee, Karazim can get in the middle, give you those heals, keep things going for your team. If you need to disengage, you have your fall step for the Mighty Gust, so you can afford for your aggressive front line to be aggressive. Now, the fifth pick, ETC, Malfurion, Medivh, Bala. Oh man, what would you put here in your fifth slot? I think it's another warrior.
Do you think maybe something with a little bit of impact behind it?
One thing you have to be careful of is the strategy of dealing with the bell towers being taken, but Bala's already on his team.
It's Nande, so you could have a Sonya in here. You've got look at the front line of synergy. How that is clumping up. You've got Karazim, and Sonya has been able to have great value with her sustain, with the Whirlwind, against these kinds of things. The only thing you've got to be a little bit careful about is the stun coming out from Varian with that charge.
Zarya, Sonya, heroes that jump out for me, and it's going to be Leoric instead here.
Okay. I think I like this. No? Whatever.
I think I like a little bit more power, but still, it's great against the double warrior, the multiple melee. It's good for forcing those Mighty Gust too. He's dropping an Entomb, and you can just immediately put your opponent on the trigger-happy drop the R to get the Mighty Gust away. So it works. It definitely fits into here. I think I would have enjoyed a more aggressive pick for that fifth pick, just because of what we've been seeing more and more from Sport Billy and Playing Ducks, where they get their portals in and force the engages. But already ETC is great at that. So just put yourself in a situation where you can force Mighty Gust to happen, and you have a comp that is going to be solid.
There's just a lot of emphasis on Valor. Like, she needs to do damage.
I think Playing Ducks is okay with that, though. They've done it multiple times. They're all right with, like, all right, we have a Chris here. Chris, go do the right-click thing.
Yeah.
We'll keep you alive. We have your Malfurion. We have your Force of Wills.
I guess they won Braxis, right, when it was just Valor with Rexxar, Muradin, Malfurion, and Tassadar. So they put a lot of emphasis on the Valor, and it worked.
So for Synergy, you look at them, knowing that Vala is the main go-to here.
Yes.
For the playing Ducks, how do you break that? Artanis is wonderful here for the engage blade dash into the phase prism on a Malfurion in particular. You break Malfurion, you break Vala. That's the 1-2 punch there. And then you have your Ragnaros with the Sphere of Smash, you have your Variant Taunt. A lot of engage here for Synergy if Artanis hits the swaps. If he doesn't, it's going to be a hard day here for Synergy.
Yeah, perhaps. That's an interesting little draft that's come out. And, you know, again, seeing Karazim on Synergy's side, it's not as surprising as, like, say, other teams, for example, because we've seen Sevka dabble with some of the, let's say, tier 2 supports and have some success with them.
Well, it's time. Game number 4, Playing Ducks facing off against Synergy. Playing Ducks in the lead here, looking to take the win in the best of 5 series.
All right, Towers of Doom here, as Playing Ducks look to solidify themselves a spot here in the league, with Wolf Joe going to be playing Malfurion. Cresplosion is on ETC. Sport Billy is on Medivh, I should say. We have Chris going to be playing Vala. And finally, Nandi will be on Leoric.
Synergy to the far right, your Russian team for the day. In red, they will be Sevka will be showing off his Karazim, working in those punches when he gets a chance. Power of Dream, working in those swords when he gets a chance. Neon with the hammers here on Forestad. And I'm done with this, Sir Ice Cream. Here it's going to be Ragnaros. And the last pick will be Hydra on Artanis using the side blades.
Look at that Skinergy from Hydra. That's beautiful.
That's tasty.
Yeah, I love that mount, actually. It's a very nice mount.
I love that hero.
It's, I know. Yeah, everyone knows. So it's fine. Okay, so let's see what we're going to be having already. So Hungering Arrow build to start things off here on this side. So interesting, actually. What do you think about that build in this comp?
It has that power spike that you and I have talked about, where you get to level 4, you finish the quest, you try to hit it before level 13, and you can just chunk opposing heroes. It's going to be easy to stack too, with you having multiple assassins on the other side. Okay, then that is dead Ragnaros.
That's every single time we see Sport Billy playing Medivh, I say it, and I really don't need to say it too much, but I'm gonna
say it.
It's that I love seeing them make those moves early in the game. They've adapted throughout HGC Europe. They used to only do it late, but at the beginning they're finding those portals and they're making them work. He was on the gate, Trixler. He was on the gate.
That's overextension. Gosh.
That's bad.
What a pleb move. Yeah, no, seriously though, like that engage is so close to your gate, that safety. Just to show you that when you're playing against a Playing Ducks and you think you're safe, you are not. The Terminator is coming for you, and his name is Fort Billy.
Definitely, with the power slide, with the roots, really good coupling up there of that, and now they're going to start their camp. Surprise, surprise. This is what we do in EU. We get there fast, and we do it fast. So, amateur opponent versus that Hungering Arrow build is kind of equalizing things out in that sense.
They're already slow in the rotation, though, to get their own mercenary camp. So Playing Ducks has a chance here to go for the invade and set themselves up, especially with that Hungering Arrow build being available. Sport Billy will scout. Artanis, though, however, is in the top mercenary camp. So we have now transitioned from 2 mercenary camps being grabbed before the 2-minute mark to 3, as the meta continues to evolve here in Europe.
And I think now that I look at it, I mean, we've said it each time that, you know, in Europe, it's become more and more about these camps as days have gone on, which is why Artanis with amateur opponent makes sense, and the Hungering Arrow build makes a lot of sense. So they're getting those really fast to then get onto these altars while they're pushing. So Molten Core had to be used towards the bottom, not only to save a little bit of, well, potential damage, I suppose, but also just delay that bottom shrine from the altar from being channeled.
Sevka gets focused down here, more on the top right. Nande can use Wraithwalk to retreat. Force of Will comes out. Power is getting focused down too. Ooh. Synergy losing 2 members. And before that fight broke out, I had an epiphany bust in my brain here. Leoric is actually a good pick against Artanis, because you can play aggressive and not worry about your positioning because of the Wraithwalk.
Yep,
you can pop your E fast enough. So a solid pickup to the Artanis. Just wanted to drop that out.
As long as you're quick without the Hardened Bones at level 4, you've gone for the full Drainho build, but he's still quite tanky himself, to be honest.
Well, it just misses to become unstoppable, so you don't have to worry about the displacement, and then you go back to being an aggressive frontline.
Yep. So, okay, so just trying to sort out here. As Playing Ducks is already looking to assert themselves on this map heavily, looking to put pressure on towards the bottom lane. When you get that fort, we all know exactly what goes down.
Oh, nice dodge there. That was fancy.
He's fine.
Malfurion in trouble. Wolf Joe getting focused down. Here comes Neon from the top left, and now suddenly this aggressive play from the Playing Ducks has become a counter gank here from all of Synergy. All 5 members down here, though. Leoric in the top lane.
ETC plays his banjo, and just knocks them all away. So he's fine. It's not a banjo, but never mind.
It's close enough. It's in the species of guitar.
In the species of guitar. Are we back to wildlife documentaries?
We're back to wildlife documentaries.
But for inanimate objects.
With your host, Calaris, the BBC host. Mercenaries on the bottom left grab for our team, and Playing Ducks will be on top of that with here. Another great engage here on Power. Big jump in. And they are just body blocking him. There is a power slide from Chrisplosion. Power continues to be focused. Finally does fall victim here to the team. A swap move from Hydra, but is that the
body
swap
blocks.
you want there? Nice body block. The Earth ally will help reduce that damage going towards Hydra.
Yeah, 50% less damage there for 20 seconds as long as they don't kill it off in that circle. Very, very nice. Little response coming out. I don't think they could have got the kill anyway, but we're back to the mercenary camps. Shoot them dead, because that is going to be very, very quick with the Hungering Arrows, cleaning these up and continuing to push the bot lane hard.
A bit aggressive against allies. Shoot them hard.
Shoot them hard.
And kill them. Mercenaries. A total of 5 of these sappers are down in the bottom lane. 1 can be cleared up here by Sir Ice Cream if he drops down the Q into the nice W. Here goes the Molten Core, though, to stop the damage from coming their way. Big usage of that ability right when a Ultra hits 2. Playing Ducks will take that trade-off here as long as they don't take any damage.
Yeah, they made sure that 4 sappers didn't really do damage to the fort, so great usage of it, I would say. As much as, yeah, you don't have it for the poke now against this, you just try and, use the poke of Living Meteor as your consolation prize.
Here comes Hydra. Power out of position, though, a little too forward. Is going to be hit here with the root. There goes Chrisplosion, but will be negated as there will be a cleanse coming out. Or not a cleanse, a heal coming out here from Zepka. Power on the right side. Hydra looking for the engage. Is going to use a blade dash to get that kill going, and also to dodge an ability. Fortunately, though, comes to the side. Chrisplosion on the deck right, and there is going to be Zarian finally falling. Big, massive hit for Sir Ice Cream, but still a 5v4.
They found themselves great comfort here with some of the Medivh picks that they go down into, and they don't even feel... Playing Ducks doesn't feel forced to go down this Medivh path. They just occasionally sprinkle it into their game, and it has a lot of power here that we're seeing in this particular match.
It's good to see that,
Yeah.
You don't have to have the crazy toolbox of always using a hammer. Sometimes you get to pull out a wrench. And right now, the Playing Ducks having different tools available to them has allowed for them to be versatile in draft. They have their incredible engage. They have their Medivh set up. They have their ETC as well. They are sitting pretty here in game number 4 against Synergy. Synergy needs to find some traction and find it soon.
So all of these camps are we don't have the Molten Core available, so they're going to have to just clean this one up before it actually gets to the floor. Very important. But they've kept Ragnaros down here almost all game long, and that is going to continue here, so they have Molten Core ready and available for them every single time. Is he just dead?
I think he is. He uses Tailwind.
Dead?
He uses Barrel to get over that wall there. The Tailwind getting interrupted there, and Nande will solo a fall stat. Unheard of.
Leora can't solo anything. He can't even solo a sandwich, never mind any, I don't know how.
Is it because he's a skeleton and doesn't have a stomach? Is that why he can't solo?
Yeah, man. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean when he's like, join as a ghost story, you're in one or something, and then he pulls the cork off the wine and drinks it and it all falls out of his body. He's like, oh, yeah.
Well, the orc, man.
I know.
Kills a bird but can't eat a sandwich. Mercenaries on the bottom right continue to push here as Playing Ducks will stay on top. 10 is here, though, for Synergy. The altars close together. One in the middle, one in the bottom. Synergy can now make their play here. Varian with Taunt into the Warbringer does have the Sophia Smash combo. They have to watch out for Medivh in that Blizzard will.
Yes. All right, that's a great lockdown there for Sepka eventually. Onto Sepka, I should say. Earthen Ally going to soak up a lot of damage. Here comes Molten Core as well to try and delay out both of these for a little bit, soften them up. One thing that doesn't help, though, is that because they're against a Malfurion, this softening up will be healed up quite rapidly by Wolf Joe. And we'll see them trying to tussle for this against Hydra.
Just starting the channel here. Poke constantly coming out here from Chris and crew. The Hungering Arrow, the Malfurion with the Moonfire. Nande coming to the portal looking for an engage. And Tomb is available, so is a late line seal.
Insider Strike comes out as well. That's the mosh pit on towards him. That's a great little force of will to make sure Chris doesn't actually die off. And Tomb comes down. Sport Billy in a lot of trouble. He doesn't want to die. He'll lose his stacks if he does, and he will go down. He has not finished Master's Touch there. As Chris under pressure here from Power of Dream on the left-hand side, taking a lot of damage, and he will fall. That is a 2 for 0 at the moment. Just keep Power of Dream alive, and this is a great trade for Synergy.
Solid trade for them, getting the nice engage. And now 2 altars are here for the picking. Malfurion and Nande on Leoric will be available to deal with the altar in the middle and the bottom, but Synergy finding that traction that we were wanting from them earlier.
Very well done. Very well done indeed. So really kind of grabbing the game by the horns now of Synergy and just taking these camps towards the bottom. It's like, you meanies, stop harassing us with these camps. We want some too. And they will at least take one of their opponents, and thus they could just take their own if they wanted to. But
and Kalaris, looking at the scoreboard, it's 28-28. The game is tied. And how the early game went, you wouldn't think that to be the matter. But Synergy holding off here, grabbing the 2 altars, now grabbing their own mercenary camps and moving towards 13. They have come alive.
I wish all of our previous Hearthstone viewers were still around, because this is the easiest map to explain in terms of Hearthstone. It's like, it's kind of like Hearthstone, except they've got 40 health, not 30 health. Occasionally, you're just kind of barraging them down.
It's a lot of math.
But anyway, we do have, obviously, playing Ducks, just kind of delaying down towards the bottom. They fell behind a little bit of experience because of that.
For you at home, the level 4 talent that's picked up by Bala is almost complete here. Roughly about 80 to 85% there. But do remember, the Master Touch losing out on the last fight is going to hurt Fort Billy for a slight amount of time. He is currently still sitting on only 1 stack at the moment. He's working on getting set up in these engagements, but he has to restack all of this. And it's kind of hard to do against multiple melees like Varian and Artanis because they have so much lockdown. Suddenly a swap happens and you have to have a portal available. Ooh, speaking of swap.
That was unimpactful.
That was an R button.
It was.
It is a mildly low cooldown though. What, 50 seconds, I believe, for the Karazim set aside a strike. So no reason not to pop it out. It does force the power slide to come in. So they should have it for the next altar phase, but you can see the aggressive play that Synergy was going for.
Most definitely. So let's see where they're going to go with this. Still a lot of focus towards that bot lane. Synergy realizes their fort down there, or their bell tower, is at half health. So they don't want to get choked down into the bottom. And if they do, they actually don't have a Synergy doesn't have a huge amount of poke. They have Falstad and Living Meteor. Aside from that, not a whole lot more.
Better than some of the teams that we've seen in the past for the amateur opponent. So if Artanis does get there with minion pressure, they can burn it down. But yes,
but the zoning out potential.
Yeah, the strategy is still here for the playing Ducks as well. For Synergy to a degree. So losing bell towers definitely hold a lot of weight here. 1 altar on the right, 1 to the top left.
Should just be 1 for 1. I don't see either team really taking a risk here.
Yeah, I would. You don't have the poke to do it. If you're Synergy, I think playing Ducks has more tools to do it, but definitely 1 for 1 trade, 24 to 24. Game is incredibly even here.
Yes.
And match number 4, we were talking about it, man. Playing Ducks and Synergy, they're teams that we could see them easily having a few more wins at this stage in the HGC. It's because of games like this. So evenly matched.
Very much so.
They always rise to their opponents, it feels like.
And that is actually ETC being taunted there for the moment. Leyline Seal has kept those guys away from this camp. It will be camp for camp. So let's see who can clean it up fastest.
Triple strike has been picked up for the Artanis here.
Good.
Huge indicator that we're going to be having time to kill it. For Chris Explosion to burn down that front line ETC. False at the top lane continues to push while all members for the playing Ducks do have a massive rotation occurring. Nande on that Leorg is looking for an engage, does head down. Falstead moves at the same time here, soaking the middle lane. Fly is available in 1 altar.
Very, very even. So even. And the thing is that, well, technically I feel that Valor gains a bit more strength very, very soon. As that's going to be into on towards Power of Dream. He charges at Chris here. That's going to be a swap onto Wolfjo. Wolfjo is in no man's land. Brilliant stuff there coming out from Synergy.
Wonderful isolation. Wolfjo moved in for that big, big aggressive play there, but unfortunately not working out. Nande, unfortunately on the back left power, still low on H, attempting to retreat. Nande looking for it, but could not pick it off. Chris Explosion at the same time does dodge the prism, and there is the portal. Only losing 1 member here. We saw Malfurion moving forward to get that massive Twilight Dream, but the Mighty Gus pushing everyone away. Unfortunately, not allowing him to get that landing, get isolated. Instead, Chris Explosion on the left here, taking punches from Zepka. Big swap coming in, but the portal will allow the team to walk away.
Ambitious plays to try and keep pressure still on Synergy whilst they'd already lost their healer, as Malfurion is now going to come along and go to the top and try and channel that altar. So 1 for 1 potentially, but Falstad's going to start rivaling him. That could be scary. Power of Dream. That was the longest charge.
He started the charge at the first portal, and then we had Medivh flow through it, and so he charged it all the way there. Falstad has snuck 1 of the altars on the top right, will fly away for the moment here.
It's one of those moments when you like turn the treadmill on too high. You're like, ah, help! Sorry, Varian.
I don't know why I said a Flash and OK Go video because of their...
I liked that video. It was
that
really
was a good video.
Yeah.
If only they flew at the end, it'd be perfect. Continued aggression down here on the bottom right. Portal Hunter pops up. Power in trouble at the same time. Hydra is hitting over the retreat. Chris Explosion with the big mosh pit though. So Fierce Smash does come out. There is a Twilight Dream to lock down Artanis, and he will just fall. Here comes the Power Slide too.
This is the worst place for them to lose a fight if they do lose it out. As that Sir Ice Cream now putting on some pressure on back foot, and it will be Leoric actually going down. Brilliant turnaround for Power of Dream as well as Ice Cream and Sevka to make sure they didn't lose that fight there. Because if they did, that bell tower would fall. And yeah, Falstad's getting some damage to the top, but bottom lane is choke out central.
Yeah, that was a 4v5. It became a 3v5 when Artanis fell, so you're right. That turnaround was incredibly helpful for Synergy to hold here as Falstad got that value in the top lane. Fort's low here for our teams. Puncturing Arrow Quest has completed that looks for talent. So damage now spikes here for Volley.
Manticore as well at the 16, so not looking for the extra slows, just looking for the full focus. One attack. Ooh, going through onto Neon there. Not quite finding the kill. And they're just going to back off for now. Here comes pressure towards the bot lane again. Both camps were taken actually on this lane. So control to playing Ducks as here comes the Molten Core. Looking for damage to Chris. Any damage that comes along. Not going well.
Sapper still here. They will clear this up. Falstad continues his ever-ending quest, moving towards 20, 17 to 16. Synergy has eked out a slight lead here with this constant 5-man rotation from the playing Ducks. Nande on the bottom right. Chris here as well. Hydra turns around, goes for the triple strike. Here is Sir Ice Cream at the same time. Falstad keeps teetering on the edge of flying down, but decides to elect to grab the experience from the top. If he can burn down this altar, the top lane will be pushing, and the team will earn 5 shots if they take an altar.
You've got to be very careful. They've gone through again here to try and find a kill onto Power of Dream and Hydra. I think this is where Falstad has to come down. But the problem is Falstad has to reposition Valor. Okay, they've got to get out. They've absolutely got to get out.
That scheme comp falls apart there. Ball is where it's all here. The Mana Core, the Hungering Arrows, Chris getting picked off. Neon here with a Mighty Gust. Chris Explosion being focused down. The Entomb comes out to save his team here. Nande will most likely take the damage here and lose out on the fight. Ooh, gets a great help and won't be able to Wraith Walk away. Wolf Joe keeping up with the aggression right now.
Wolf Joe save, walking into 7-sided strike and then using Twilight Dream to help out Leoric was perfect to make sure that nobody else died in that situation. This fight is going to continue on 4v4. Falstad has gone to channel. That's going to be Mosh. Will get interrupted there pretty swiftly. Playing Ducks, you can't just continue sticking around as Synergy will take another kill for themselves.
They're attempting to slow down the fight so Volla could spawn ahead to the fight, but Synergy is able to grab the altars. 20 to 11 here for our team as a Synergy and the driver's seat moving towards level 20, the 4 taking on the top left corner at the same time. Mercenary camps have now been grabbed. Neon with the marksman quest finished up, now gets that attack speed if he pops that talent.
And it's going to be, it's going to be very, very strong. Valor's going to clean up the bell tower towards the top left, so even things out. But now, level 20 is about to hit, and Synergy has a Sapper camp, 2 Sapper camps, in fact. Was that one captured? Yes, it was captured. So 2 Sapper camps, in fact, putting on pressure towards the bottom. They are in such an amazing position, taking this down, and Molten Core. Uh-oh. Gotta get out.
And that seal, the Molten Core goes off. Big Molten Swing. Here's the engage. Hammering at the same time. Chris getting punched here by Sevka. Artanis is actually taken out by the playing Ducks. 7-sided strike is popped, but a portal is here. Chris Explosion retreats, and the playing Ducks will hold for now.
Too far forwards there as he does end up falling down. Interestingly, his stuff Epiphany been taken by Sevka. Very rare you get to see this in competitive play, as the one time I think we saw it was at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice way back when for an EU regional. So that's going to be a Gust pushing them away. So looks like here playing Ducks not done just yet, but they have some scrambling to do.
Epiphany really synergizing with that Wave 100 Fist allows for him to constantly keep punching his opposing members, getting that Iron Fist that he picked up at level 1 to start destroying there. Gosh, almost at a level 11. Okay, there, 20 to 18. Altar in the bottom, 1 solo altar set up.
I'll tell a lie. I don't think we did see it until Extreme Masters Katowice. I wrote it down, hoping that Shrimpy would take it, because I knew he liked the talent from time to time if he was against an Uther with 7-sided strike, but he didn't take it, and I was a very sad panda.
Okay, Nande sits on top of me. Here's the Force of Will. There goes the Entomb. He's still continuing to hold the area. Medivh is focused down, but the massive mosh pit. We're going to have a boss stolen here by the Playing Ducks, and they turn around this fight here. Two members fall on exchange here for the Medivh.
What did we just witness?
We just witnessed a throw pit into a 11-13 tie-up and a dead Medivh. No Master's Touch. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that was worth it.
Let's take a look at it again, because that was with the Medivh dying, he ends up like losing all of his stacks, so he's not completing Master's Touch just yet. But the fact that Leoric stands there for so long, the Force of Will soaked up so much damage from the 7-sided strike, so to the point where they could just continue that on. I think if Leoric died to that 7-sided strike, it could have been a completely different game.
Top lane being pushed in. Nande will help defend it here. Ooh. There goes a big swap, though, as a Hydra is going to be able to escape there. Nice little cute maneuver. However, once Zapper does connect with the fort, 20-20 for our two teams. A dead even game in my eyes. 20-20, 13-11 for our teams. Already, we had the Playing Ducks clearing out that bottom bell tower.
They would love to take this camp and try and take that bell tower to the bottom right for Playing Ducks. That, in my mind, if they could do that somehow, some way, that would be opening up a good win spot for them. But they're going to have to go up against heroic difficulty. So that Molten Core is off cooldown now, so it'll be difficult for them to take this position.
Great spawn for the Playing Ducks, especially grabbing these mercenaries. Two altars, one in the middle, one in the bottom. They're in a solid engagement here. Molten Core popped here for Sir Ice Cream. Mighty Gusto to drop Wolf Joe into the fight. Here is a Force of Will.
So much damage.
Top damage hitting everyone. Leyline seals. Not the synergy you really wanted there. Here goes the big engage though. Neon on the back left. 7-sided strike does get popped, but no fall stat for the team. Nande escaping. Crisplosion well in a solid state of health too here. Power slide on Hydra.
Yeah, and that's going to be a pursuit once again. The Bolt and Storm, they're trying to continue this fight onwards. The Sevka's going to die.
The bell tower got taken.
Oh my God.
There's no escape here. It's about to pop up. They're going to have slows here. Nande continuing with the chase.
Do they have any more that they can use? Mosh is still technically available. They could get this. And oh my God, they're going to turn this around. They're going to turn this around, Trixler. They've got so many shots from this.
They can run middle lane, kill that fort, and then win the game.
This is almost perfect turnaround for our Playing Ducks right now.
Wait a minute, did Synergy actually snatch one of the altars in the bottom?
No, that was Playing Ducks. They got it.
Oh, gotcha. I just can't do math here. They can't win the game. They can get 6 shots, though, off the altar here.
Yeah, this is... Oh my God. Considering that Synergy has been in the driving seat for a good portion of the mid-game of this, Playing Ducks there with that fight. Oh my God, they're going through.
They were looking for Varian. The Entomb to lock him in here. He's in a spot where they can go for the engage. There it is. Nande goes forward. Ice Cream low on health. Neon, though, with the big mighty Gust. Chris in the back right.
Oh my God, Leyline Seal as well. So that Gust actually missed Chris, who was the one that was lowest that they needed to kill off, but he stays alive. Power of Dream goes down. 3 are currently dead here, and that is going to be another altar going over towards them, but I think they're just looking... Okay, so this is very clever. What they're doing is they were trying to just zone out. You just ignore the altar for now. Zone out, try and get this mercenary camp. Try and finish the game right here, right now. Keep the pressure on. They're going to get themselves full stat. Great play by the Playing Ducks.
Synergy is just falling apart here, and the mercenaries are pushing in the bottom left to get to the core, and that is game over. Yeah. Crisplosion with the engage. Hydra here on the left. There's no way for them to hold here. They go for the blade dash. There goes the knockback for Crisplosion. Arcana fallen. The Entomb here. 7-sided strike to live, but the Sappers seep on through. That is going to be game over. Playing Ducks winning the series 3-1.
Oh, my heart. It is racing right now. I can't believe.
Same. That was an intense moment towards the end of the game there. The nice portals over the walls, the setup, Sports Billy and the team just working as a full machine there.
I think something that is very important to think about is it was a synergy gust that I feel that started all of that off towards the bottom. Neon came in, gusted them all towards that bottom right-hand corner in front of that bell tower, but overall, it felt like it didn't worked to Synergy's favor.
Yeah.
They were taking so much damage from the penetrating bolts from the strafe coming out from Valor that everyone was in range and they couldn't capitalize on any target off of the Gust.
A moment of panic, which is understandable, being in that spot. You are on the end of your rope there. The rope is burning and you're about to be taken out. The Leyline Seal coming from Sport Billy 2, right after that Money Gust hit, landed, falsed down so they could turn around and get that kill. So solid play by playing Ducks. They just seem to be very much more composed in that scenario there in the late game, grabbing both those bell towers, one in the middle, one in the bottom, and all they had to do was keep getting picks, and they did.
Great series, though. Really cool series to watch how these two teams butted heads with one another. And Synergy, once again, they take a loss here, but it's great to watch them just develop from week to week alongside the playing Ducks.
Yeah, it's hard not to be a fan of both these teams. It feels like every time they're in a matchup, no matter how strong their opponent is, they always level to the occasion. They just quite aren't getting the wins here. Playing Ducks having more success in the last couple of weeks, but Synergy, again, in that matchup, neck and neck until the very, very end there.
Brilliant stuff. Really cool to watch. And again, when we're seeing on Towers of Doom, everyone has to pay massive attention to the fact that this bottom lane is so important. I really liked the use of Molten Core to try and stabilize that a little bit more and slow the impeding potential death down there, but it was just a little too late down the line.
It's one of those counters that we're seeing, those bell tower grabs that we've been seeing where people set up and they siege their opponents away and just punish their inability to take that to the bell towers. If you just don't lose it in the first place, use Molten Core, you're good to go. And so it's a good adaptation to how that map is being played on the battleground. It just didn't work out in the long run. And
I was a little bit skeptical of the Leoric pick, but in the end, it worked. I mean, every single Entomb that came down seemed to have some impact. Again, Leoric can't solo Sandwich, but can solo Falstad in some weird world that we live in. There we go.
And again, the more I think about it, the more I like it against Artanis. Already, I feel like Artanis has a good lane against Leoric, but in terms of actual fights where you're trying to hit those phase prisms, you're able to Wraith walk away, and it just really worked out and allowed Nande to be aggressive with his Leoric. In fact, I believe we are talking to Nande. Nande, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, my friends. Can you guys hear me?
I can. Congratulations on your victory here. The Playing Ducks continue to go up and up. Give me a feel here. Your team came into the year 2017 just trying to work together, become a better team overall, and right now you're just trying to stay in the league, but you are making heads turn.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it feels great. This win was very important for us. Although we were feeling confident, it was very important for us to solidify us, like in the middle of the standings. And as you said, like we had, I think, some starting difficulties, like having to replace Raid Boss at the start of the season and having Sport Billy coming in. But as time goes on, we're feeling pretty confident. And also with Sport Billy coming in, it was actually pretty easy to build up the synergy with him. And I think it's going to go great. And we're aiming to just get better over time.
So talk to me about Braxis holdout and the draft that actually went down there, because it was a bit of a wild one, a bit of back and forth. Did you guys go in thinking that like Rexar was going to be a pick for them? Did you want to take it away? Did you just have plans to take it anyway? Talk to me about it overall.
Yeah, I mean, it is known to us that Hydra loves playing Rexar. Sorry for taking it away from you, man. But it was... yeah, it was in our mind from the start of the draft that Rexar is a possibility, and you always have to see, do you need a top laner that can hold, or do you have a foreman that's winning? And if you have a foreman that's winning and you have Rexar holding top forever, then it's like super good. And so we were holding it until later and seeing if we want to counter it, and then it turns out to take it, and yeah, it worked pretty well.
Cool. I have two questions for you. I thought the Playing Ducks would be the team that just showed off Chromie for the entire of HGC here in 2017, but it seems everyone's playing Chromie against you.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. We were like obviously Chris loves the hero. He's playing it very well, and we were practicing it, and I think people like maybe saw it from him and like, oh, this hero is actually pretty good, and we were surprised when people started using it because we didn't see anyone else playing it before, but. Yeah,
it's been surprising, and we've been watching the games and enjoying them. Next week, you guys are going to continue down the bumpy road of facing off a really strong team. You're going against Fnatic. Thoughts about the matchup?
Right. Well, we're going to try our best. I mean, obviously, they've been together for a much longer time, and they have experience playing at BlizzCon and such, and we respect them a lot, and they're a very good team, so we will try our best, but yeah, we will see how we can take that one on. It's probably going to be a bit more difficult.
Awesome. Good to hear. Well, again, congratulations to you. And before we let you go, shout-outs.
Thank you very much. And of course, first of all, shout out to my teammates for playing amazingly and practicing very hard. Shout outs to our organization and sponsors, Playing Ducks and Be Quiet. And thanks for everyone out there supporting us, and really appreciate it a lot.
Cool. Congratulations to Nande and the rest of his team here, the Playing Ducks, moving up in the standings overall here in HGC Europe. What a nice guy, man.
Lovely guy, yeah.
Nande sounds like a great guy. Here's a good standings real quick here while you tell me about how awesome Nande is.
It's as if all of us Europeans have a lovely, like, skip in our step. We do what we can.
Here we are. The top 3 have been clinched here for the Western Clash. Misfits, Fnatic, Team Dignitas, after 4 weeks, will be your 3 that will be competing there in Poland. Expert in Playing Ducks, now fighting for that 4th and 5th slot here as they are 3-3. But week 4 ends with some very exciting series and lots of great storylines as they come to a conclude here. In a few weeks, man, we get to go to Poland. We get to watch these guys play, and it's going to be a wonderful weekend.
So far in the standings, there's not too much surprise for me, having gone into phase 1 at the beginning of all of this, expecting myself only to be here for a week or 2, and then eventually transition through. The top 3 looking good. You've got Expert in 4th place, which I think that, you know, they have definitely solidified themselves there, looking to rival into the top 3. And then Playing Ducks and Tricked, then Synergy and Be Genius. The tiers have worked out quite nicely, but again, I think even the big 3, never mind everybody else down there, huge room to improve. Make yourself, like, as a team, as a cohorted unit, there's great opportunities for here in 2017.
And we get to watch it week after week. Speaking of weeks, next Friday will be our 5th week here for HGC Europe, and we have some matches already lined up for you at home. It will be a 2-day weekend, so be ready for that. The Playing Ducks and Fnatic will face off first, and then we'll be able to watch Trick Esport as they take on Misfits. Of course, North America will show us with No Tomorrow and Gale Force Esports. I'm actually pretty excited for that match. And then B-Step and Aventic will finish the day for Friday. So make sure you are ready to hang out with us next Friday. I know I'm excited. Week 4 ending here. Caleres, what was your favorite match?
The Dignitas Fnatic match was really fantastic. We saw a lot of diversity from both of the teams, and it kind of lived up to what we expected it to be, with a big clash, a very storied clash, as I mentioned before. Very fun. But even this series itself was a great entertainment value as well.
I'm going to have to just go the easy route and say I am down with you on that one. Hey. That best of 5 series was awesome. Fnatic and Dignitas. That's it here for week 4 of HGC Europe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Paper, rock, scissors, go.
Ducks there with that fight. Oh my god, they're going
through. They were looking for Varian. The Entomb to lock him in here. He's going to spot and go for the engage. There it is. Nande goes for it. Ice Cream low on health. Neon, though, with the big mighty gust. Chris in the back right.
Oh my god, Leyline Seal as well. So that gust actually missed Chris, who was the one that was lowest that they needed to kill off, but he stays alive. Power of Dream goes down. 3 are currently dead here. And
bring them to pain. Deep within the forests of Lordaeron lies the kingdom of Zul'Aman and its zealous guardians, the Forest Trolls. During Azeroth's second war, the Amani warlord Zul'Jin struck an alliance with the Orcish Horde in order to eliminate the Trolls' ancient enemies, the Elves of Quel'Thalas. But their pact would not last. With the Horde's defeat, Zul'Jin and his kin returned to the forests. Now, drawn into the Nexus, he still seeks a way to enact his terrible vengeance.